Hello, I'm Freddie Jennings, a Year 12 doing sport studies at the Norton Maxwell School. The other subjects that I do with this are Spanish and English language and literature. The reason I wanted to do those three subjects together, they might seem like a little bit of a slightly different, but I want to do sports journalism, and I just feel as if sports studies will help me with that.
I'm Louis Temple. I'm Year 13 at Latchbull, taking PE, biology and chemistry. Next year when I go to university, hopefully, I'm looking to study zoology. And I took PE because I just find anatomy in general really interesting. But yeah.
The reason why I took sport studies was because I've always had a fascination for sport and all of the different psychological and physiological elements. And in the course you'll really see how everything in sport, every fine motor movement or gross motor movement has got extreme psychological and physiological demands. It's not just one action or one movement that you think is completely basic. We learn in the course that there's so much to it. There's so much more than just what meets the eye. With Mr. Benwell, I'm only in Year 12, so I've only covered a slight part of the topic, and with Mr. Benwell we've been looking at physiological elements of sport, for example, the venous return mechanism and applied anatomy and physiology, which is very interesting. As well as with Mr. Bright, we're looking at the psychology elements, so looking at personality, motivation and elements like that. So it's really sort of helped to have a blend between the two different elements, and it's just given us a wide range of understanding about the topics.
Yeah, so I've been playing for tennis for 13 years now, so sport has always been a big part of my life, and I've just really wanted to learn more about it. The subject as a whole, it covers so many different areas that you'll find yourself really being able to apply your knowledge to the sport that you're doing as well. Because there's one sport that you do, you write your coursework about, and your practical part of your course is based around one sport. So it's January, and in my year we've covered the whole course. We actually finished it in around November, December last year. So you actually go through the course really quickly, but this is great because we end up having like 6+ months to just focus on exam technique, time delegation, and in this period it's really clear to see your grades just improve massively. And along with this, with the time management and stuff, it helps your other subjects too. I think that's a really good part about PE as a subject, with the long questions, short questions. It just brings everything together really. And as well with because I take biology, I found that PE especially really helps biology. There's so many crossovers in both of the subjects' content. I just think that it's a great subject to take.
Yeah, that applies to the other two sciences as well, because we've just done forces and Newton's law and all that, so it applies to physics and chemistry as well.
Sure.
Plus you learn techniques. Obviously it's psychology, it's a big help as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn techniques like English for explaining questions and how you've got to structure your answers, so it really has a whole host of other subjects which sort of incorporated with it. And for me, when I first started the course, it looked pretty daunting when we had the first resource given to us, but that was just my first reaction, and after going over it, it's become a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
It was quite a shock at the start, just because I realised how there's the step from GCSE to A-level, but with all the teaching and everything, how everyone goes into depth about it, it makes it a lot easier for me.
Yeah, I find that the teaching especially is so, even though, as Freddie said, the depth of it is, it's pretty deep subject knowledge, but it's the way that it's taught is very clear, and it's very digestible.
You keep in Year 12, we keep going over it.
Yeah.
Finish topic, then 2 topics later we'll come back to it.
Yeah, lots of repetition, and throughout the whole thing, just doing loads and loads of practice, and you'll find yourself really soaking in with the information.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for listening. Hope to see you next year in the sixth form.